Welcome to episode number 2 of the Past Your Prime comment section. We just locked eyes momentarily before starting recording, and that's why I laughed a little bit.
You are taller than me, but you look incredibly short
I
compared to
like
me.
my chair to be super low.
Hmm.
We'll have to change that for the episode we're recording today. But anyway, we're here to address the recent comments, both on Spotify and YouTube. So if there's got something you want us to talk about, drop a comment and we will talk about it, because we still only have tens and tens of followers to address comments from.
Makes it easy.
Yeah, there's
tens of
one in the
tens.
UK and one in Canada.
The UK one's new, right?
Yeah, I think so. Somebody from
awesome.
the UK watched us. So
We really like that.
thank you to our friends out in the UK. Our friend.
Singular.
To be more specific. Okay, so our first comment is, I think, a repeat commenter, if I remember correctly. It is from A. Elliott, 1978. And the comment is, add fiber to your diet. I assume that's for you.
Nope.
No, that's
Nope.
probably for me.
It was 100% for you. It came from the one where we were talking about your habits.
My habits. So I actually did a little bit of research, A. Elliott, 1978, and you are correct. I tracked my food intake for 3 days, and I'm averaging anywhere from 65 to 75% of my daily value for fiber. So I'll be adding some beans, I think.
Great
That
call.
is one of the few foods that I'll eat. So I'm gonna add some beans to try and get my fiber levels up.
Have you been more regular?
I've been regular for a long time.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't have any issues there. I'll tell you that.
I actually did not want you to tell me that.
Well, you asked. So
After I asked, I immediately wanted to pull the question back.
Yeah.
So
you should have, but here we are. All right.
thank you for the comment.
Who's our next comment from?
TL Smith.
TL Smith 198.
This is my mom.
Are you sure?
I'm like pretty confident my mom.
Well,
wrote
thanks,
this
Craig's
one.
mom.
Yeah, thanks, Mom.
Craig's mom's comment is, when tissues are injured, what does that mean? Are there components of the tissue destroyed, bruised, or something else? I'll let you take that one.
It's a good question. So if you think of an injury, there's a whole bunch of different things that can happen around it. So, for example, when you say destroyed, you can actually lose the integrity of the tissue. That would be destroyed. You can think of like a hard hit to your leg. There's going to be components of it that you could actually have damage, where the cells and the actual integrity of the structure is damaged. Bruising, something similar, means you're going to have some level of blood that's getting into the area. When we talk about tissue damage, we're kind of using it as a catch-all term for anything that is negatively impacting the health of said tissue. So we're not going directly into I'm not trying to be deep and specific, because there are different ways that tissues can be hurt, a whole kind of litany of them, which we can get into in a later episode. But there's a inflammatory cycle that can happen. There's damage that happens to some of the cells that make up these tissues. There can be damage to the macro structure of whatever tissue we're talking about, and it can happen in a variety of ways.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for the comment. Next comment is from Smitty.
I assume that everybody talking right now is somebody I'm related to.
Yeah. Craig Smith, Smitty. Interesting.
Was it me that made this comment, though?
Interesting. Yes. All righty. I'm assuming this means any answer to covered joint replacement training tips.
Absolutely.
That's it. All right. Next comment. No.
Yeah, there definitely are training tips. Joint replacement, there's 3 major ones that we see often. So you have your total knee, your total hip, and the total shoulder. Each of those, in those types of surgeries, they have a different style rehab. So total hip is actually a very easy rehab. So once you get to what we call phase 3 or activity progression, it's just pretty easy to make sure that your body's handling it well. Whereas if we talk about like a total knee is just a much more painful and I think difficult therapy. I mean, carrying out the rehab's not that hard, but when you start to get to training and you're past where it hurts, to me, there's 4 big things. First one is that you make sure you have complete knee extension. You have any swelling in the area is well managed. Your quad strength is at least equal to the other side, and you have as much knee flexion as possible. If you have those 4, then you train like you would with any other activity. You would actually train just to be in generally more fit, but you want to make sure those 4 things are covered. If we look at the total hip, it's just making sure that you actually have good glute med activation, adequate range of motion, and that you have no contribution from your low back or the knee that's causing your gait and movement to be dysfunctional. When we move on to the total shoulder can be a lot more tricky. I don't find that those typically will reduce pain, but a lot of the function around it can be very different from person to person. So when you're doing that one you really want to make sure that you get adequate strength, as much strength as you can, and your stabilizers. You want to make sure any muscle that crosses a joint is very, very strong. So biceps, triceps. Um, if there's any level of activation that you can do that doesn't cause pain, you want to make sure you're doing that. And then you want to make sure that anything that crosses or anything that contributes to the whole upper extremity shoulder girdle area functioning well is really well taken care of. So that's making sure your periscapular muscles that control your scapula are really well controlled, your neck's not bothering you, you have good elbow and hand movement.
Well done, sir.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Next comment is from Carol Waldow. Craig, this is Aunt Carol. What could you tell me about exercising a reverse shoulder replacement?
Okay. Reverse shoulder.
What is a reverse shoulder replacement as compared to a shoulder replacement? Is
Shoulder.
that where you take out a shoulder replacement and put the original shoulder
Then
back
reverse
in?
it back. Could you imagine the nightmare with that? No, no. A reverse shoulder, they do that when they, man, reverse shoulder is kind of, it's actually a really wild. So when you think of a normal shoulder replacement, it's like they take what a normal anatomy is there, and they take, and that's where they put the prosthesis. So you still have a normal glenoid, and you have the humeral head gets replaced, and so it looks like a normal socket. A reverse shoulder, they literally take and they put the ball where
Oh,
the
the opposite
fossa,
side.
yeah,
Okay.
and then what happens is the deltoid basically becomes what pulls the humerus into the socket. So it's like a total. It literally is a reverse of what the shoulder mechanics.
Can your
would
arm
be.
just like go straight backwards and do some crazy things? Or
It typically is you do that typically when somebody has really significant pain and they don't have any cuff, like they have like cuff destruction. So there's reasons that you do it, but wowzers, is it typically it reduces pain, but function is ridiculously compromised. In that situation, I always try to optimize everything around the area, and then I get really, really clear and clean on the compensations, because you're not going to get full function back. So your compensations have to be really well thought out. You want to have them mastered, and we can dive into that some other time if we want to, but that could be its own full
give me the
discussion.
main exercise you would do.
Well, the thing
Is
that
it ER, IR?
no, because I don't have it.
Right, okay, that's what I was going
Right?
to ask you. The
Yeah,
mechanics.
yeah.
You
No,
said
it's like no, it's different. It's like your deltoid becomes really important, but it's also what stabilizes the joint. That to me, what makes it way more functional is getting really good with the elbow strength, range of motion, neck. You keep that functioning really well. Those are the things that I find to be the most useful. And then deltoid trigger points are really common.
wow. All righty, I learned something new today. Thanks, Aunt Carol. Next comment is from, is it Joni Roguk?
Rogucky.
Rogucky 3393. Thanks for the comment. I also have cramping and pain. I blamed on the surgery for say that word?
The Roma.
Neuroma. That's fun. Sarah was pretty cool when she explained it to me. Sarah is pretty cool. I agree. Though she did not use FDB, she explained it was the muscle that ran from my heel to the base of the toes. Does this wrap in with Achilles tendonitis? Hope you're all doing well, Joni.
Yeah, if you there's a book called Anatomy Trains. It's really interesting that talks about fascial lines, and they show in a dissection that you can actually run the plantar fascia and FDB attachment all the way to the Achilles tendon, um, which is, I think, pretty interesting. Just shows that there's a fascial connection between the two. So while it's not what she described, was definitely a flexor torn brevis tendon or flexor torus brevis muscle cramp for sure. Even if she didn't use those terms, that's what she was talking about. And that's actually a topic we're going to go into in some depth in today's episode that we're about to shoot.
Nice.
Yeah. So we'll talk more about why cramping and your experience with cramping. There could have been a double crush syndrome, which is what a normal in that situation would be. We'll dive into how that can actually predispose you to cramping, but a neuroma can't cramp. It's a nerve. So in itself, it's not the cramp. The cramp can be a sign of dysfunction from the neuroma, but yeah, neuromas don't cramp.
Eat bananas for cramps.
Yes.
We'll talk about that today. Next comment is from AMC Lover 8334. And they commented interesting on our fix knee pain fast short.
Wait, I mean, it was interesting.
Yeah. You can't fix knee pain all that fast.
But we can put a picture and a graphic and titles that make it seem like we can.
Right.
Yep.
Finally, my family decided to jump in on the comment section. I've got a comment from at Audrey Kiker. Nice shirt, Alex. LOL.
I think you were wearing a goofy Hawaiian shirt that day.
And I did ask for comments if people
anybody
liked my
liked
shirt.
it. Yeah.
So
It's kind of nice. Your wife likes it.
yeah.
That's a big deal. That's good.
Also, Kiker family.
You're getting
help me
shown
out.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, granted, though, my family is massive, right?
Okay. Well,
Like we populate most of Nebraska and we're spreading out. We're taking over the world.
Yeah.
One city at a time.
I mean, I've got East Coast and West Coast, so any coast, please just somebody comment for my family so that we're not all talking about Craig's family here.
My family's pretty awesome. It's all right. We can continue to show up the Kiker family.
Oh, goodness. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
We're not, I mean, I'm not saying it's a competition, but my family is clearly dominating this competition.
just called me a loser.
I did. Yep. Thank you guys for being very supportive.
So continue dropping your comments. We still only have tens and tens of followers to address comments on, and we are happy to dive deeper into anything you guys want us to talk about. So thanks again.
All right.
Comment, subscribe, like, share, rate it high. Bye.
Be whoppy, baby.